Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Today we're doing a little bit of muscle memory. Muscle memory, we're going to take a look at the verb haber, use it with the ando, iendo, and then we're going to find out we can also use haber with estado, ando, yendo, and then we'll see there is an optional way of saying should have as well. So let's start off very simply. Let's just take our first cluster. To say that you have done something or something has happened, it's going to be has, hemos, or on. For example, we have worked a lot. Hemos trabajado mucho. We're going to use the hado. Comer. Have you eaten? Has comido. I haven't thought about it. No lo he pensado. Have you studied? Has estudiado. They have not helped. No han ayudado. I have paid attention in class. He puesto atención en la clase. Mom has paid the bills. Mamá ha pagado las cuentas. Remember, H is silent in Spanish. Never pronounce. It's always silent. Hacer ejercicios. I have done a lot of exercises. He hecho muchos ejercicios. We have done a lot of exercises. Hemos hecho muchos ejercicios. Ahorrar. Have you saved a lot of money? ¿Has ahorrado mucho dinero? Leer. I have not read it. No lo he leído. Ir. Have you gone? ¿Has ido? ¿Has ido? No, no he ido. No, I haven't gone. Ver. Have you seen it? ¿Lo has visto? ¿Lo has visto? Escuchar. What have you heard? ¿Qué has escuchado? Correr. We have run a lot. You're on a cross-country team. Hemos corrido mucho. Let's take the verb caminar. I have walked a lot this year. He caminado mucho este año. Gastar. They have spent all their money. Han gastado todo su dinero. Dormir. Have you slept a lot? ¿Has dormido mucho? Have you slept well? ¿Has dormido bien? En descansar. We haven't rested in days. No hemos descansado en días. Very simple. This is the present tense of haber followed by the past participle. So the verb number would be, it'd be a 32. It'd be a 32. Now, to say what you had done or what had happened or what you hadn't done would be había with the past participle. Now, we only have había because you build out from había to get all the other conjugations. Había, había, sabía, habíamos, sabían. If I want to say I hadn't thought about it, I'd say pensar. No lo había pensado. I had not eaten anything. No había comido nada. He hadn't paid attention. No había puesto atención. Had you paid the bills? ¿Habías pagado las cuentas? They had not seen it. No lo habían visto. They had not gone. No habían ido. They had not read the book. No habían leído el libro. To say what you had done or what had happened, you're going to go with a form of había with your hado, ido, past participle. Let's jump down here to would have. To say what you would have done or what would have happened. Now, technically, it is habría or a form thereof. Habría, habría, sabría, habríamos, sabrían. But some people in Mexico and other places in Latin America, some people will use hubiera when most people will use habría. I can't say most people, it just depends on where you are. But habría means would have. Hubiera can also mean would have for certain people. And certainly you'll pick up on the context when they're speaking to understand it as would have versus should have. Okay, so let's go here. Let's take with, my gosh, I would have studied more. Yo habría estudiado más. If there had been more food, si hubiera habido más comida, I would have eaten more. Yo habría comido más. We would have paid attention. Habríamos puesto atención. We would not have gone. No habríamos ido. I would have read the book. Yo habría leído el libro. I would have saved more money. Yo habría ahorrado más dinero. I would not have spent so much money. Yo no habría gastado tanto dinero. I would have slept better. If I had a sleep number bed, habría dormido mejor. So habría is what you would have done or would have happened. And then down here we come up should have. What you should have done. For example, I should have worked more. Hubiera trabajado más. We should not have eaten so much. No hubiéramos, stretch it out, no hubiéramos comido tanto. You should have thought it over. Lo hubieras pensado. You should have studied more. Hubieras estudiado más. I should have helped. Hubiera ayudado. They should have paid attention. Hubieran puesto atención. We should have paid the bills. Hubiéramos pagado las cuentas. I should have done more exercises. Hubiera hecho más ejercicios. I should have read it. Lo hubiera leído. You should not have gone. No hubieras ido. We should have seen it. Lo hubiéramos visto. You shouldn't have run. No hubieras corrido. I should have walked more. Hubiera caminado más. I shouldn't have spent so much money. No hubiera gastado tanto dinero. They should have rested more. Hubieran descansado más. So this is just a quick review what you have done, had done, would have done, or should have done with the past participle hado, ido. A very simple concept. We're talking about the present tense here. That'd be a big 3 verb number. The había is imperfect. That would be a 5. The would have, right? Conditional, that would be a 7. And hubiera is the past subjunctive. That would be a 9. So we're talking about a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 9. That's no mystery. We've studied all those verb tenses with the verb numbering system. But now we're using them in a common way with the past participle, which is verb number 2. Now let's take a look at the same clusters here with estado plus ando, yendo. If you want to say what you have been doing or what has been happening, you're going to go with estado and then ando, yendo. If you want to say what you had been doing, it's going to be había estado plus ing. What you would have been doing, habría estado plus ing. And what you should have been doing, hubiera estado plus ing. Now, to be honest, sometimes it might be awkward to find an example that fits in all 4 of these. So you always want to focus on what is common, what is everyday, what is popular, what is a form of speech that we use commonly, right? So let's take a look here. I have been thinking about it a lot. Lo he estado pensando mucho, okay? He has been eating a lot. Él ha estado comiendo mucho. We have been working a lot. Hemos estado trabajando mucho. They've been helping a lot. Han estado ayudando. I've been paying attention. He estado poniendo atención. Have you been paying the bills? ¿Has estado pagando las cuentas? We've been doing exercises. Hemos estado haciendo ejercicios. Have you been reading it? ¿Lo has estado leyendo? Have you been watching it or seeing it? ¿Lo has estado viendo? Have you been listening? ¿Has estado escuchando? He has been walking a lot. Ha estado caminando mucho. We have been running a lot. Hemos estado corriendo mucho. I've been sleeping a lot. He estado durmiendo mucho. Okay, so that's easy. We understand the first 4 clusters. We know it's muscle memory. We're talking about haber. We used it, first of all, with the hado, ido, right? And now we're using it with estado plus ando, yendo. All right, let's take a look at había. I hadn't been working. No había estado trabajando. I had not been eating a lot. No había estado comiendo mucho. We had been studying a lot. Habíamos estado estudiando mucho. Had she been helping? Había estado ayudando ella? I had been paying attention. Había estado poniendo atención. Dad had been paying the bills. Papá había estado pagando las cuentas. We had been doing a lot of exercises. Habíamos estado haciendo muchos ejercicios. Okay. Had you been listening? ¿Habías estado escuchando? Had you been running? ¿Habías estado corriendo? Had you been spending all of your money? ¿Habías estado gastando todo tu dinero? I had been saving a lot. Había estado ahorrando mucho. Now let's go to what you would have been doing, right? Let's say you're incapacitated, you're doing rehab for something and you're staying at home and you're not going to your job. You say, well, if I were okay, si estuviera bien, I would have been, or si hubiera estado bien, if I had been fine, I would have been working. Habría estado trabajando. I would have been eating better. Habría estado comiendo mejor. I would have been studying more if I had more time. Habría estado estudiando más. We would have been helping had we been there. Si hubiéramos estado allí, we would have been helping. Habríamos estado ayudando. I would have been paying the bills. Habría estado pagando las cuentas. I wouldn't have been running. No habría estado corriendo. I would have been watching the program. Habría estado viendo el programa. I would have been resting more. Habría estado descansando más. So the would have, you can see how the functionality of this kind of drops when we go down. This is very, very common. This is okay. To say what you would have been doing, right? It's not really common. It's not very often used, but you certainly can create it. You have the tools, right? And should have. Now, should have is a good one. I should have been paying attention. That would be hubiera estado poniendo atención. I should have been paying the bills. Now, this is a good one. The had been, the would have been, not so much. But when you get over here to should have, I should have been paying the bills. That would be hubiera estado pagando las cuentas. We should have been exercising. Hubiéramos, stretch it out. Hubiéramos estado haciendo ejercicios. You should have been sleeping more. Hubieras estado durmiendo más. I should have been reading. Yo hubiera estado leyendo. You should have been saving more money. Hubieras estado ahorrando más dinero. I should have been sleeping more. Hubiera estado durmiendo más. So, a lot of clusters, there's a lot going on here, but it is muscle memory. We understand the verb haber. We looked at it in the 4 clusters here, the 4 common ways of using haber with the ado, ido, and the estado plus ando, yendo. Certainly the sa, hemos, on, and probably the should have. What you have done and what you should have done. These are the most common, right? Había, I hadn't been working much. No había estado trabajando. That's legit, but I would have been. That's just not as common, but it's legit. All of these are legit, but the ones that are used the most, right here and right here. Okay, we certainly understand our infinitives over here and how to put them in the ing form and how to put them in the past participle form. The past participle form, trabajado, comido, pensado, estudiado, irregular, puesto, pagado, irregular, hecho. Descansado, dormido, gastado, caminado, corrido, escuchado, irregular, visto, ido, leído with an accent on the I, and ahorrado. We know how to put it in the ado, ido form. To put it in the ando, yendo form, piece of cake. Trabajando, comiendo, pensando, estudiando, ayudando, poniendo, pagando, haciendo, descansando. This is a you, durmiendo. Gastando, caminando, corriendo, escuchando, viendo, V-I-E-N-D-O, viendo. This is yendo, Y-E-N-D-O. It's irregular. Leyendo with a Y. It's just like yendo, but with an L-E in front. Leyendo, L-E-Y-E-N-D-O, and ahorrando. So to put these in verb number 2, the ado, ido, piece of cake. To put them in verb number 1, the ando, yendo, the present participle, that's also a piece of cake. To conjugate haber in the present tense 3, asa, hemos, han. To put it in the imperfect, había, había, sabía, etc., that's easy. That's verb number 5. Verb number 7, the conditional, it's just like this, except it's got an R. Instead of había, it's habría, 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 sabría. And then the past subjunctive is hubiera. So we understand how to conjugate haber in these different tenses. We understand how to form the past participle. We know how to form the present participle. And now what we're doing is we're taking all those tools and we are creating language, everyday, common, spoken language. So you should be able to say what you have done and what you have been doing, what you had done and what you had been doing. You should be able to say what you would have done and what you would have been doing and what you should have done and should have been doing. That is the point of this lesson. So you should be able to say with the auxiliary verb haber, to say all these things. Again, what you have done, what you should have done, what you would have done, what you had done, or what you had been doing, would have been doing, should have been doing, or have been doing. It's not complicated. It's very simple. It looks like a lot here, but remember, muscle memory. No two lessons that we have taught are identical. Yes, we've talked about haber and ando, iendo all by itself. And we talked about these kind of all by themselves separately. We did the verb numbering system, verb numbers by themselves. But now you're seeing how, like keys on a keyboard, when you type, you hit different keys. Well, we only have 10 keys on the Spanish keyboard, from 0 to 9. There are only 10 things you can do to a verb. Leave it alone, 0, infinitive, or run through the present participle, past participle, and then the verb tenses, right? So this is exciting. Again, you have the tools. We just want to create language. Create language. So your homework is create sentences saying what you have done, should have done, had done, and would have done. And no, there's an option here. Now here's another option. When we taught this lesson before, an option of saying like, I should have been working, hubiera estado trabajando. You could say, debería, take the verb deber, put it in the conditional, debería, and then take haber by itself, debería haber estado trabajando. I should have been working. Debería haber estado trabajando. I should have been there. Debería haber estado allí, or just simply hubiera estado allí. The deber haber is an option. It's not as common, but it's out there and it's legit. But these are very, very common. And so the focus of this lesson is to make sure you can use haber in all the common ways. Okay? Es todo por ahora. Hasta la próxima lección. Gracias. Bye-bye.